Hi there and welcome to this video. I'm Sherry Rothwell from nutritionwisdom.ca, and I just wanted to record this video for you about how to let go of negative emotions and anxiety, in particular at this time of the month, because we are in the waning moon cycle, and that means our energy is starting to recede, and along with that comes the feeling of the need to let go of the things that don't serve anymore, that are actually draining our energy, in preparation for the new moon period coming up. That's a time for creativity and visioning. So it's really important to clear the slate moving forward in order to have the space and the time to do that. So I wanted to share with you a little exercise that just kind of came to me when I don't know, I was probably about 33 years old, and maybe even younger actually, now that I think about it. I think it was more like around 30 years old. And I had a lot of anxiety at this time in my life. And the anxiety that I experienced was, I couldn't exactly pinpoint where it was coming from all the time. So what would happen is I would just suddenly feel like sick to my stomach with this feeling of doom, impending doom or dread. And this happened actually a lot earlier in my life, starting when I was 14, but actually at that point, it was triggered by hormone imbalances. And a lot of that can be actually remedied by, taking the right supplements and, dealing with the issue of having sluggish liver and not getting enough essential fatty acids, things like that really helps with the hormonally driven feelings of dread and doom. If that doesn't make total sense to you, you should just message me and we should chat about what's going on for you, because you definitely shouldn't be feeling the kind of feelings where you feel impending doom or dread or depression and there's nothing wrong, right? Like there's some times in your life where you feel like when there is something actually wrong and you feel those feelings, well then that's natural, right? We're human. But when you can't pinpoint anything, and you have those feelings, it's very likely that you have an imbalance in your body, and it's actually affecting your hormones and your ability to produce feel-good hormones, like the neurotransmitters in your brain that make you feel good. And all of that can be addressed nutritionally. And it's not going to be addressed in any other way if that's actually the cause of those feelings. So there was the time in my life where it was because I had started to menstruate and I was not in a state of balance and I didn't know how to get back into balance. So I just lived with that until I was in my early 20s and I became health conscious and I learned what was off with me and knew what actually to take to make me feel normal again. But then in my 30s, I had the feeling, it's a bit different this time. It wasn't exactly, I wouldn't say it was hormonal actually. It was more of like a third chakra kind of experience where I had some sort of feeling of being unsafe. And this chakra right here in this area, your sacral chakra, is all related to self-esteem. Okay? So this was a time in my life when, there were so many things I wanted to do and I was scared to do. Including stuff like this, like teaching, for example. I knew that being a teacher was my purpose in terms of the way I was meant to share my messaging and give back to people. But I was scared of public speaking, so I wasn't letting myself do that. Okay, I had some fears around my health, my kids' health, like just anxiety stuff coming up, and there was no real reason for it because nothing that I was worried about was really happening, right? That's the thing with anxiety. It's kind of like, it's just like imagining something happening that's not, but actually feeling like it is, right? So I had specific thoughts in my mind. So that's really different than in the early days when I had the feelings of anxiety and impending doom. I actually couldn't tell you what it was, okay? So I don't know what was going on, but as this feeling overcame me in my early 30s, I had the feeling like I just knew to stop everything I was doing when I had that feeling and just sit with it and be like completely present to the sensation of the anxiety, okay? Because it was like so in my body to the point where I actually felt like I had like this idea of having this energetic body of the chakras, right? Like I actually felt like I had a physical chakra. Like it didn't, I could feel it and it felt like a disc and heavy and hard. And like if I bent over, I would be bending it, okay? It was really intense. And so anytime I would have any type of feeling of anxiety, I would actually feel the sensation there. And somehow I just knew in that moment that I had to stop and literally get present to the sensation and just accept it and just keep breathing into it and being present to it, not trying to do anything to it. And I would just stay with it and it would eventually pass. And I would literally move past these experiences of anxiety just by absolutely doing nothing in my head. I wasn't coaching myself through it. I wasn't telling myself, you know, that's not real. It's not happening. Da, 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 da. I actually just didn't even focus on the thoughts. I only focused on the feeling in my body. Okay. So if you notice a lot of the fears or, you know, things that bother you, that when you think about them, if you actually get in touch with your body, you can actually feel a corresponding spot in the body every time you have that thought. So if you're can't think of anything right now, you can actually have this experience. Just think of the thing that, like the worst case thing that could ever happen to you, the most scariest thing you could ever think of, okay? Just the fact that you can pull up something means that on some level you're holding that in mind. And it's actually coming up to be removed from your life, to leave, right? Negative feelings are coming up to leave, but we actually we don't like to, but we just do because we've been trained this way since we were kids to suppress feelings, right? And we just don't like feeling them. So push it down instead. So I just basically got present to the sensation. And then once the sensation passed, then also the monkey mind stuff would actually be gone too. And it wasn't like it meant that it never came back again. It would come back, but you know, later, right? Like I would actually be able to pass through what was coming up for me in that moment. And then, you know, I did this enough to the point where I don't feel that physical disc anymore, okay, in there. I still can feel sensation in there. That's for me, if I experience anxiety, it is right here. And one of the ways that I could also share it with you is if you're familiar with yoga, if you've done yoga before, okay, then you're going to really understand what this is. Because if you are in a yoga posture that's difficult for you, you will be told by the instructor that you need to breathe into the area that you're feeling the sensation of pain. And you'll notice that if you do that, instead of trying to run away from the pain, if you actually focus on it and bring your breath and awareness to the sensation of the spot where you want to go deeper into the stretch, or where you're experiencing pain, it actually just dissipates and it's gone, okay? So that's I kind of like to express it as being similar to emotional yoga. Later in life, I learned about a technique called emotional release technique, and I'm sure I'll talk about that in future videos. So that expands upon this type of releasing, okay? But I think a lot of people have experienced this awareness that just like you can move through pain in the physical way by bringing your breath and awareness to the muscle, you can do the exact same thing with your anxiety by finding the corresponding sensation in your body and moving through that, which is beautiful because you don't have to rely on anyone or anything. You just literally need to get present to it, stop what you're doing, and do not move. And, you know, it actually came to me this week to record this video a couple of days ago because it was actually on the actual waning moon. I literally woke up with this feeling like, ugh. And I immediately moved through it just by doing that. I just like went and sat down on my couch and just sat with it until the physical sensation was gone. And then, like, I promise you, once the physical sensation is gone, it's going to change what's also going on in your head. So if you're struggling right now, I hope that with anxiety, I hope that helps you. If you are, struggling with big things in your life, I want to invite you to check out the link above this video where I have a link to a program called the Dream Design Tribe. And it's basically a coaching program with a whole bunch of other aspects to it around, getting in tune with your rhythm, with the moon cycles, and planning with the moon cycles. Looking at topics of health, of living your purpose, creating your dream life, creating your dream business so that you can, don't feel holed up in some office doing something you hate for the rest of your life. Basically everything, a holistic coaching program on all of the areas that I have studied deeply and embodied in my life over the past, 10, 15 years. And it's a really affordable program. And one of the parts of it is a monthly coaching call. And this Sunday at 11 a.m., we are going to be meeting in a virtual chat room on Zoom.us, and it's an opportunity for you to get coaching on anything that you're struggling with. And it's really, really important to recognize that if there's something right now in your life that you're not able to get through on your own, then you're probably never going to do it on your own. Otherwise, you would have done it already, right? And to remember that you're not alone, and that's what other human beings are here for, is to help each other. So it's an opportunity for you to get in a group with myself and some other women, and it's this particular coaching experience is not recorded, so you don't have to worry about that. It's just a one-time thing. No one will ever see it other than the people in the group, and everyone in the group is aware that it's a private place and nothing leaves the space. So if you are someone who's interested in business and in mindset and in health and moon cycles and connecting with other women to help each other move forward to create the life of your dreams, then you're going to want to join us. And it's available right now. You can get in today and then join us on Sunday. So I welcome you, and I look forward to meeting you. Bye for now.